it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Craft, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Just to remind you, if you don't already subscribe, please do so, bottom right hand corner, and hit that notification bell so that you will be alerted when I post a video or go live, because I am planning to do some live videos on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Today is our last Simple Stamping Saturday Sale-a-Bration special. So I am looking at the Well Dressed stamp set, which was one of the second release items, and I'm combining that with the Sending You Thoughts, which was one of the stamp sets in the first release. These are both level 1 stamp sets. I'm using the Sending You Thoughts purely because I wanted to keep this as a Sale-a-Bration special. Obviously, if you've got sentiments that work for your card, that's great. So, as ever, we're going to start with a simple card. And this is my simple card. I'm using a very vanilla note card and envelope. And this week I've even managed to stamp the envelope the right way up. Hurrah! One ink pad, really not difficult, but for the moment I think sending a little something is quite a nice sentiment. Obviously you can combine that with something like with a great big wish for happiness, or whatever. You can combine these. So you could use if loving thoughts could heal, you'd be better already. Again, not a bad sentiment for the moment. So how do I make this card? And remember, I will be showing you how to make two more advanced versions, so do hang around to see that. They are all basically the same card, just with a few more techniques. I'm using Cherry Cobbler as my ink. I've mounted up my tie and collar, so that is ready to go. So 3 simple taps. I think that was 4, but you get what I mean. Do have a look, and if you see that there are any areas that aren't properly inked, you can add some more ink. Now I find that when I'm holding this sort of block, it's actually easier to have my card in the wrong elevation, I think is what I'm trying to say. So stamp down, hold your stamp there so that there is a chance for the ink to actually transfer across to your card, and pull up, and you get a reasonable stamp. I don't think I inked up properly, but you get what I mean. Let me get a scrap and I will show you maybe how to do it better. So ink up. It is possible that I need to re-ink my pad. Hold down, pull up. No, my pad needs re-inking. It's as simple as that. Anyway, let's keep going. And here's my sentiment, and again, ink up. Cherry Cobbler is perhaps not the best colour to have used, purely because it's not that easy to see the difference between it and the stamp, but I quite liked the idea of Cherry Cobbler, more than anything because of the more advanced versions, but that, you see, perfectly reasonable. That's stamped without any problem at all. Let me grab a scrap of paper because I need to stamp my envelope the right way up. So let's ink up our stamp again, and you can pretty much guarantee that this time it's going to stamp perfectly because I don't need it to stamp everywhere. So bottom right hand corner, hold and up. Yeah, no, I think it is my ink pad needs a good clean and a good re-ink. So anyway, you get the idea. Let me get rid of that scrap. And dare I say, it proves that not all, even those seasoned crafters amongst us get issues occasionally. We are, after all, only human. But there is our card, really simple. Obviously you could do it in any colour, and you could use Whisper White instead of Very Vanilla. So my stepped up versions, again, I'm using some items from Sale-a-Bration. So I have got, for my more casual crafter, I've got some of the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper, which I have used a brayer to add some cherry cobbler ink, so I just rolled over that. Really easy to do, and then polish it off with a piece of kitchen paper or a rag, just to get the extra ink off the foiled area. Cherry cobbler was why I chose, let's rewind. I chose cherry cobbler because I liked the idea of the cherry cobbler and the copper. I think that's a really nice combination. This is I think I want to call it the Storytime tag punch, which is this one. I will link that below and over on my website. And I just stretched it, so I measured the width of the straight lines, which are unhelpfully just under 1 1/4 inches. Cut a piece of card that length, and then just fed it through and cut it to the length that I wanted. Let me show you roughly what I mean with another piece of card. It's not the right width, but you'll get the drift. So I just fed my correct length of card into my punch, lined it up straight, and obviously because I had the right length, the right width, it lined up straight without any problems. Did that, and then it's actually easier for this one to come through that way, and then just punched again at the right length. So it's really useful to know that you can stretch your punches. So that's this one, and then I just fussy cut the tie. I've popped it up on some dimensionals and then put it on the label, and this is the classic label punch, so just punched that out. My advanced version introduces the stitched nested labels, which are part of the Bird Ballad suite in the annual catalogue. I've also done copper embossing, so other than that, it's the same card. I die cut from the middle of the mat. I don't know if you can see, there's a cherry cobbler mat. So I did my die cutting for the cherry cobbler from the middle of that mat, so I didn't waste the card. So there you are. Beginners, really quick with a well-inked ink pad, very easy. Casual using punches, and advanced using heat embossing and die cutting, as well as the same punch. I hope you found that interesting. Do remember that Sale-a-Bration finishes on the 31st of March. So if there is anything you want to stock up on, now is the moment to do it. And obviously if there's a lot of things you want to stock up on, do look at the joining offer, because that is absolutely the best offer at the moment. It's going to be a great way of making your money stretch. And at the moment, making your money stretch is kind of a good idea. We don't know how long we're going to be shut behind closed doors. But yeah, you can, for £99, including free shipping, get hosts and hosts of stuff. Thank you very much indeed for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!